My name is Shynar Rahimova. I live in Taldykorgan city, Kazakhstan. I am a mother of 3 children. My son Maratov Ulan was arrested when he was having meals together with his friend. As they were arrested, they were beaten and kicked and taken away handcuffed. We didn't know who were those people who arrested my son. We looked for him for 3 days. When we went to the Department of Internal Affairs, they threatened us that we would be shot if they come closer to the building. We were crying and begging them to tell us if our sons were there, but they kept threatening us in response. We could not get any response from anybody for 3 days. It has now It has now been over a month since my son was arrested. I finally got access to my son after 3 days of searching for him. I'm now the civil defender of my son. I have been seeing him. He was brutally tortured. They inserted needle under his fingernails. I saw him with my own eyes. I saw his injuries with my own eyes. He lost two teeth. He was beaten in his head, ribs, kidneys. His eyebrow area fractured. They tortured him continuously. I have never heard of such cruelty in my life. I have never imagined that my son would be tortured insanely this way. They accuse him of being a terrorist and stealing firearms. They forced my son to sign some papers without letting him to familiarize with the content of those papers. My son said that he didn't know what he was signing for. They didn't let him read those papers. I cannot bear my son being held in detention and being tortured so much. On behalf of all the mothers, I demand to release our sons. I ask people to support us, to help us. Our sons need your help. Our sons are waiting in the hope that someone may be able to help them, to free them from this terror. My son needs medical treatment urgently. I have been delivering some medication, but he needs proper medical help.
Құдай үшін қазақ елі қолдаңыздаршы бізді, жазықсыз балаларымызды шығарып, тезірек бостандыққа.
I don't believe anyone here. I don't believe any members of the authority here. We are experiencing truly dreadful situation. All the mothers whose sons are detained here we are here outside the detention center from 8 o'clock in the morning and all day in the cold, waiting our turn to get to see our sons. They let us go inside, only 2-3 of us at a time. We feel cold all day, walking outside, crying. We can't sleep at night anymore. We don't even know what we are eating anymore when we have meals, as we are constantly thinking of the dreadful state of our sons. We keep thinking what torture they are experiencing now. We can feel their pain, we can feel their torment. It's our helplessness and their helplessness in our minds all day. The time seems to have lost for these mothers, as she says. Days and nights seem so long for them to while they wait in such painful uncertainty. I have no strength, she said. We don't know how we can hold on this way. Please help us, whoever can help, to free our sons. We ask the international community, human rights advocates, we need your help, please. The tragic aftermath of the protests still ongoing in Kazakhstan for many weeks now. Hundreds of fathers, mothers, sisters, and other relatives are left in anguish after seeing how their loved ones are being tortured. Innocent people are being tortured because President Tokaev, the authorities, have allowed their forces to torture these young people for various reasons. Some of these mothers' sons are being accused of being engaged in terrorism. Some of them are accused of stealing firearms. Some of them are accused of taking part in distractions. When these young people are beaten and driven to desperation, and in that desperate state, they are being made to sign papers without knowing what they are signing for. So Tokaev, the president, unelected president, his police are fabricating the evidences for sending these people to prison. And while he has given such criminal orders, the president given such criminal orders to the forces to torture these young people fighting for freedom, he is doing lip service about protecting people's civil rights on television, on interviews, but that's just a lip service for cameras.